RMJ Movie Reviews, and I'm back again. Today I wanted to talk about something that would be really fun for me. I wanted to talk about one of my favorite movie theaters growing up as a child. As you all know, I grew up in the city of Cleveland my entire life. And there was a movie theater, there was a mall in the Cleveland area at the time, because it was the 1980s when I came up, and throughout the 90s, called Randall Park Mall. And it was one of the largest malls in the United States at that time. It was kind of termed a city within a city. And it just had all kinds of ramps. It was almost like an adventure going to Randall Mall. It had ramps and things that went through the entire mall. There were these beautiful kind of colorful, sheets of glass that hung from the ceiling. It was a beautiful place. It was so beautiful during the holidays and any type of event. And they had tons of stores, Higbee's, Sears, Dillard's, which I can't remember what Dillard's was way before it was Dillard's. It was just a fun place. And on the second floor, they had a movie theater. It was called the Cinema 1, 2, 3, because it had 3 auditoriums. And that was one of my best, earliest, most heartwarming memories of going to the cinema as a child, because my father used to always take me to the Cinema 1, 2, 3 at Randall Park Mall. I can name to you right offhand, I remember almost every single movie I ever saw at that movie theater. I remember we went as a family to go see Superman 3 with Richard Pryor. I saw An American Tale, Feifel, it's not Feifel Goes West, but American Tale with the little mouse Feifel. All us old folks remember American Tale. My father took me to see Masters of the Universe there, Darkman, Dick Tracy. And there was a film that I remember we all saw as a family. It was a Richard Pryor movie from the, I think it was the mid-late 80s, a movie called Critical Condition, where Richard Pryor pretends to be this doctor, and there's like a big thunderstorm and things like that. And I think every aspect of every person I've ever known, I spent in that mall and in that theater. Both sides of my family, my father's family, my mother's family. Okay, so I'll talk about some memories from when I saw movies there. And the last movie that I did see there before that particular cinema, which was on the second floor, like I said, closed, was actually Mario Van Peebles in the Black Cowboy Western movie Posse in 1993. Their Christmas setup was the most immaculate thing I think I've ever seen. I remember in the lobby, because they had like all this carpet and like these beautiful shapes. They had the Santa Claus there, and there used to be like a little train track, and it was really a beautiful building. I can distinctly remember when we saw Superman 3, there's scenes that I still remember seeing in that theater. The scene where Clark and evil Superman are fighting in the junkyard, and he chokes him, and then he dun, 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 dun. And I remember the most frightening scene that all of us 80s babies probably remember from Superman 3, which is where the evil sister character gets sucked into the machine, and she gets transformed into this robot that does like this. I remember when my father took me to see Masters of the Universe, because I was so excited to go see that film, because He-Man was a motion picture now. It wasn't the motion picture that we were expecting, but regardless, it was half kind of sort of the movie we wanted. When my father took me to see Masters of the Universe, the sound was so loud in the theater that it's the scene where Skeletor comes walking into the throne and he's doing his staff on the floor like that. It was astronomically loud. Each time that almost bursts my little child eardrums. It was loud, man. I remember me and my dad going to see An American Tale, and I remember that movie terrified me because the little mouse Feifel, I think that's his name is Feifel, right, y'all? He gets separated from his parents in that film, and you know that was the 1980s, so there was always something with some kid who got kidnapped, or he lost his parents, or his parents couldn't hear him and he was in some other universe. It was always something like that, and it terrified me because that was the age of the milk carton with missing kids on it, so it just scared me to death. Well, when we saw the Richard Pryor movie Critical Condition as a family, I didn't even know what that movie was, because I don't remember at that time if they did show previews. It was probably after I was already in bed. But I can still remember the music in my head because the music was like ding 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 ding. Like throughout the score, it would have like this menacing sound, and it would be like. I believe there's a villain in that movie, which he's a Caucasian gentleman who's got blonde hair. But I remember him kidnapping, who I now know to be Rachel Tickerton from Total Recall. But he kidnaps her at the end, and Richard Pryor has to like get her back. The bad guy trying to like climb a fence, and a guy who thinks he's a dog bites him. And then Randall Tex Cobb comes in and says, "Nobody kicks my dog." And I can still remember that scene like the back of my hand. I can also remember when my father took me to see Dick Tracy. I never really got Dick Tracy because I was like, okay, he's got a yellow suit, he's got a watch, and everybody has funny faces. But regardless, I still enjoyed it as my little 8-year-old, 9-year-old self. My father took me to see Darkman with Liam Neeson at that time. Taken, way before Taken. And it was one of my memories about Darkman. One of my memories about Darkman was it was an unexpected kind of superhero movie for me because I remember when I saw the previews for Darkman, and it just had this, the music was like, and I can remember the music on the previews was like, dun 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 dun, and it kept saying, "Who is Darkman?" And you would just see like the silhouette of Darkman in the letter A, and it would just like dun 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 dun, and then like it kind of zoomed out and you could see the figure of Darkman. When you walked into the Cinema 123 at Randall Mall, there was like it was steps. So the box office was like so it was on the second floor of the mall. Like I said, you go to the top of this ramp, and the entrance is right there, right where the box office is. You get your ticket, so you go up the steps, then you go to the second landing, right? So it's got the movie posters, the ones that are in the 3 auditoriums on the bottom floor. You go up to the second floor, you're walking past, you see all the rows of the movies to come. I remember, I remember seeing a teaser poster for Rocky 5. It's like it has a V for 5, and I think it's a chain. I can't remember, but it's not actual Roman numeral. And Rocky is like, I can't remember. I think it's like he's in between like buildings, and he's like at the bottom of the V doing something like this. But I remember being so excited, like, oh, Rocky 5 is coming, you know? And but anyway, when you got up to the second floor, to the left was the popcorn stand, and that was where you buy the popcorn. And I just remember how you could distinctly smell that popcorn smell when you got to the second place. And I remember when I would walk up to the front entrance of the movie theater and I saw the movie posters, I would get so excited. That movie theater, they closed it, I think it was 1994 when they closed it, because I remember seeing an advertisement for Surviving the Game with Ice-T and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. What is it, Turtles in Time? I've only seen that piece of garbage one time, and I've never seen it since. But I can still remember walking around that mall like it was yesterday. I can still feel in my feet the way the carpet felt on those ramps. And me and my cousins and friends, we would run up and down those ramps so much. It was just, that was a sad day. That was a sad day when you saw that whole place just decline and fall apart. So, if nobody has a nostalgic kick for old movie theaters that they used to go to when they were children, you can just go ahead and watch that thing called The Bridges of Madison County. RMJ Movie Review, folks. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.